All right, so a lot of these games I grew up with, so this should be pretty interesting. This is going to be retro wrestling video games from PlayStation 1 and N64. We're going to do a little bit of a tier list on them here. Um, this is really going to take me back, I can tell you that. A lot of these games I haven't played in years, and I do miss a lot of these games too. Some of these games I haven't played, we're going to get into some of those, but yeah, I've definitely played a majority of these here. Um, let's get into the first one for PlayStation. Wrestlemania, the arcade game. I remember this one really well. Um, I think this is the one where you can like literally punch him out of the ring, throw him out of the ring. It was kind of silly. Um, I do remember playing it. I just don't remember all that well. So I would have to say because of that, I'd probably put WrestleMania the arcade game probably a good, not great. I put it as a B. I mean, it was fun to literally play in the arcade, but I don't know if it has a lasting memory for me that would put it up here, A or S. WWF Attitude. I remember this one really well. I think this is the first WWF game that I played. I played this on N64, and I think this is the one that actually had the theme songs. Now, granted, it wasn't like straight from the CD into the game. I think it was, the video game audio. But I do remember that this one had the wrestlers' theme songs, and I thought that was awesome because that's what I was looking for in some of the other games, and they didn't have them, unfortunately. But Attitude was fun. I had a lot of fun playing Attitude. Um, I think they had a gauntlet match style in there too, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I got to put Attitude as a great choice just because of the memories that I do have playing it. And even though it's been years, I'm really dating myself here, but it's been years. I played this when it first came out. Was it like what, around 97, 98, 99, somewhere in that ballpark? But I definitely got to put Attitude as a great choice for sure, for sure. WCW Nwo Thunder. I played Thunder a lot. At the time, I had an N64, but my buddy had a PlayStation. And I would remember going to his place. He lived right down the road from me. And we would always go and jam out on all these PlayStation wrestling games. And I remember NWO Thunder really good. Put on the same list. I don't know if it's on here yet. Maybe it will be. Nitro. Yeah, right here next to it. Nitro. Nitro obviously came first before Thunder did. Um, I think Thunder, with everything that was in the game, you can have the characters talking to you before you pick them. Like the wrestlers would talk to you and tell you why you should pick them or why you shouldn't pick them and all that. Um, I thought that was cool. The lighting of the game was cool. The graphics were a step up from some of the other ones. Um, I would put Thunder here. I would put it as good, not great. Um, I definitely think it's better than playable. I do not think it's trash. So I would definitely put Thunder in good but not great just because of what they included at the time in the game. Same kind of goes for Nitro too. Nitro was a fun game to play. Um, I don't know if I would necessarily say it was a great choice, but I think I think it deserves to be in the same category as these two here. I would definitely put Nitro and Thunder in the same category. Good games. I would definitely recommend playing if you haven't. If you could find them, I know they're kind of hard to find, but I would definitely check those games out. I would play them again today, to be honest with you. WWF No Mercy. Here's a game. This game had a lot of new stuff in it. I believe, I don't know if it was an actual TLC match that was included in here, but I do remember either having um, tables, chairs, something like that. I do remember that. It might have been a TLC match, but No Mercy was fun. No Mercy was really fun. I played a lot of hours on this. I would definitely recommend it. I would go back and play it now. The question is, though, does it belong on the must play, which is the S tier, or would it be a great choice with WWF Attitude? I think it's a step up from Attitude. I really do, and it's obvious. The game came later on. I think I'm gonna have to put No Mercy as a must play. It was a really good game. It was ahead of its time. I know that a lot of the fans of the wrestling video games now go back and look at No Mercy and say how much of a good game it was, and they kind of wish like the whole WWE 2K series that they've been doing for years now, which is in my opinion trash. Um, I think No Mercy even stands up against that, even though they got the updated graphics and all that good stuff with the brand new games. I think I got to put No Mercy as a must play for sure. ECW Anarchy Rules. I did play this one as well. This one and the other ECW game, this one over here that we'll get to, I think those are both ran on the same engine as the WWF Attitude was, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I don't know if they were quite playable like the WWF games were. They were fun. It was nice to see an actual ECW game. For the longest time, it was just WWF and WCW, and then some third parties. Um, you know, non-wrestling federations that made video games as well. But I don't know. ECW was fun. I don't think it's on here with Nitro Thunder and the arcade game. It's not trash. I would have to put this particular ECW game, Anarchy Rules, at playable. That's I think that's fair. That's fair to do that. This one right here, WCW NWO World Tour. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was obsessed with pro wrestling, and I still follow it to this day. I still watch AEW. I haven't watched WWE in a while, but I still keep up on all the current events and everything going on. But WCW NWO World Tour. When this game first came out, I literally called, and here's a throwback. I called Blockbuster for it had been 2 weeks straight trying to get this game in stock. And every time I called, it was out of stock. And I lived far enough away from it where I couldn't walk to it, so I would literally call every single day to see if they had a copy in stock. And finally, one day I called, and sure enough, they had a copy in. I said, "Could you please hold that for me? I'm gonna be there as soon as I can." They put it on hold for me, and I got there and I picked it up. And I remember when I got it, I was just so excited to go back home and play it. And I miss the N64 altogether. I think the Nintendo 64 was a great console. I plugged that sucker in. Me and my buddy at the time, we literally played this game for 36 hours straight, trying to unlock everything, move up, check out all the features, trying to figure out the wrestlers' finishes, all that stuff. And uh, this really hooked me. This got me. And for 36 hours, now remember we had this rented, so we didn't buy it. So we had to hurry and finish it before we could return it, which whatever it was, I don't even remember back then, 3, 5 days rental, whatever it was. But WCW NWO World Tour is what really set it off for me. Fell in love with it. I still love this game to this day. This one for me is at the time you had the different rings. The intro was fire. The playability was fun as hell. I really truly enjoyed World Tour, and that's definitely a game that I would definitely go back and play over. Horror movie, never even heard of it, never played it. SmackDown 2. Let's do SmackDown since obviously SmackDown came first. I think SmackDown was fun. Um, I think for it being on PlayStation, which PlayStation you could do a little bit more in their video games than you could with N64. Um, I think I think SmackDown deserves to be in the good but not great. Um, Only because the playability was good. I would go back and play it again, but it's not something that I would necessarily seek out and, run straight for and try to grab. If I saw it, maybe I would pick it up and give it a play again. But For its time, it was a decent game. It was a solid game for its time. I just don't know if I would definitely go back and say, hey, let's go find WWF SmackDown. Let's pop it in and give it a go. If it was laying around again, I would pick it up and I would play it, but it's not that's something that I would go and search out. SmackDown 2. Um, to be honest with you, I remember playing SmackDown 2. I don't remember it all that much, but from what I do remember, I think it's for me it's on the same level as good but not great. I think is a fair place to put it. I don't want to do any disrespect with it, and put it, yeah, it's just playable, but it's not anything great. Definitely right here is a solid spot, I think, for those two games. Um, WCW versus the World. This one to me was, I believe it was the first WCW game they put. I think this even came out before Nitro, if I'm not mistaken. This one here. I do believe versus the World came out first. And I remember I had played Nitro, World Tour, and Thunder before I even knew that versus the World was even a video game. When I went back and played versus the World after I played these titles here, I loved it. And if I'm not mistaken, this one in like the starting screen before you um, went into the main menu, I think actually played the NWO theme. If it's not versus the World, it was Nitro. They played, maybe it was Nitro. Now that I'm thinking back on it, maybe it was Nitro that played the Nitro theme song, and then it played the NWO theme song as well in the main screen before you clicked on and went to the menu. But regardless, I think WCW versus the World is a game that definitely needs to be celebrated. It doesn't get talked about as much. I think they even had some Japanese wrestlers in here as well, which was kind of a first game to do so. I think it was a great game. I would definitely put versus the World as a great choice right along uh, WWF Attitude. WWF in your house. I am going to be completely honest with you. I have never played this game. I don't remember it. I don't even remember seeing it. If I did play it, it didn't have a lasting memory. But 100%, I'm just going to put it not play because I do not remember in your house video game at all. This ECW game, I'm going to put the same as playable. It was good, wasn't great, but it's not, I don't think it belongs in this category here. Um, Again, it's not a game that I would necessarily search out. Um, have played it. It was good. It was playable. It was fun for a little bit, but I think it's a safe spot there. Um, Backstage Assault WCW, trash, absolute garbage. I don't even know why they even made this game. I mean, I guess for the time it was the first game that they did it where you can play backstage and kind of fight and brawl in the back of the arena, which was fun for like the first 5 matches. But that's all the game was. Trash. Mayhem, same thing. Trash. These games, to me, signify what WCW was at this time. It was a dying company, and it was unfortunate because WCW was my favorite by far. I was addicted to it. Started watching it hardcore back in September '97. I want to say it was, and I've been hooked ever since. And I actually was a pro wrestler for about 14 years or so, and it was WCW that really got me hooked. But these games right here, it was a dying company. These games were coming out at a dying time for the company. They were just trash. So bad. WWF War Zone, I played this one a lot. I played this one the same amount as I played World Tour. I think these games came out around the same time too. Warzone and World Tour. I would put Warzone as a great choice. The mechanics were a little off. It was a little clunky compared to, like, say, a World Tour, where it's kind of more of a smooth gameplay. I think Warzone it's a good spot for it right here in the great choice. I think it is an A tier game. I wouldn't say it's an S tier. So I think I'm comfortable putting that right there. Fun game. Don't get me wrong, fun game. I would definitely play it again. Simpsons Wrestling. I remember the Simpsons arcade game. I do not remember Simpsons Wrestling. I never played Simpsons Wrestling, so that's going to go there. Wrestlemania 2000. This game had a lot of good stuff going for it. I think it just failed in its delivery. I think, I don't know. WrestleMania 2000 could have been a really good game. It really could. I don't think that, I don't know. There was just something lacking about it. It reminds me of that WrestleMania game that came out for GameCube. Can't remember the name of that one. Was it even a WrestleMania? Might have been. Anyway, going off track. This one here was good. Didn't move the needle for me. I think I'm going to be comfortable putting this at good but not great. I think it's fair to say for that one. And then last but not least, WCW Nwo Revenge. This game, just like World Tour, I was addicted. This is probably the game that I played the most was these two right here, Revenge and World Tour. Revenge, obviously, a step up from World Tour. Now you had more wrestlers involved. The mechanics were slightly the same. Well, they were pretty much the same company, but I don't know. It's just the look, the feel, the opening intro leading you into the game, I thought was great. Um, I think Revenge, if I got to put World Tour as a must play, Revenge has definitely got to be a must play. Great game. Awesome game. Can't say nothing, more about World Tour and Revenge. Both of these games combined together were just great. I spent 36 hours plus straight playing this. I want to say I did about the same, if not more, of Revenge. Um, so I think, yeah, Revenge has to definitely go up there. So my S tier would be World Tour, Revenge, and WWF No Mercy. I think is a safe bet. I put those three. Um, I will say though, looking at the rest of the list on the bottom here, I don't think it's fair for me to put Nitro in good but not great. Now that I'm kind of like looking at it as all the selections are made, I think I am going to have to move Nitro to a great choice because it was a step up in the right direction. It came up right after Versus the World. Um, these two games, I think, were very underrated in my opinion. So I think it's a safe spot to put Nitro here. I'm gonna put Thunder at good but not great because it pretty much was just a repeat of Nitro, just with the Thunder name and all that. Um, but I would have to put WWF Attitude versus the World, War Zone, and Nitro in the A tier. I think I'm comfortable with that. Thunder, WrestleMania the arcade game, SmackDown 1, SmackDown 2, and WrestleMania 2000, good but not great. I'm gonna stand with that. The two ECW games, playable for sure. Kind of the same mechanics as the WWF games. Um, I'm comfortable with that. Trash, Backstage Assault Mayhem, those two were just dog shit. I wouldn't even recommend playing those, especially Backstage Assault. That was just trash. Power Move Wrestling, In Your House, Simpsons Wrestling. I've never heard of. I've never heard of Simpsons Wrestling. These two, and I'm ashamed to say I never heard of In Your House. I wish I would have, or else I would have played it. Um, Maybe I did, I just don't remember. I don't know. But not played, I'm gonna put these three there. And I think that's a solid list right there. Um, I don't think I would make any more changes. We moved Nitro up. I think that's a good spot for that to be. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the list just like it is. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video, comment below. Tell me what your list would look like. Do you disagree, agree? Do you have any memories, of these games like I do? Like I said, 36 hours straight of World Tour, Revenge, No Mercy. I mean, these were happy times right here, for sure. Like this group right here. Happy times, happy times. So let me know. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think. And make sure you like the video. All right, guys.